Hey, Travel Quest agents, it's Bonnie Lee with Beth Lee.
Hi.
This is our first night of my first time of actually doing Facebook Live by myself. So I have Walt in the other room making sure you can actually see us. Beth, she's a little bit, maybe I shouldn't have been the test one. Or maybe not.
That's all right. We'll be fine.
Yes, we're all about like stepping out on the edge. But anyways, thanks you guys for tuning in tonight. We wanted to go over DocBrander, a product that Beth and her husband Andy put together for us because they saw me struggling trying to brand documents. Let me just look at Walt. Is it working? No.
Right here.
Okay. Hey, can you all hear us okay? Can you say yes or no? Walter is thinking it's not working over there. Oh, can you put, oh, here, give me that. Okay, we're going to make sure. Can you guys hear okay? Okay.
Oh, we got the yes.
Okay, so I am good. You can hear us. Yes. Oops. I told you this.
Now we can't see the responses.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, they can hear us.
Okay, well now we'll just continue. But like I said, this is sort of kind of the test thing for this evening. Next time I'm still going to be just as lost as I am right now. But anyways, DocBrander was actually born, here's a quick synopsis of the story or a little condensed version, right Beth? I'm sitting at home, I'm trying to figure out I got these documents and I'm struggling and I got Word up and then I got my Google Docs and I'm trying to figure it out. And Andy looks at me and he says, what are you trying to do? And I said, well, I am trying to get, oh, I love Delta Vacations. Don't any of you repeat this. I wanted to get this logo off and I wanted to talk about me and myself and my agency. So that's what I was struggling with. And Andy's like, oh, well, I can do that for you. And the next day he had figured it out how to actually fix this part of the document. So that was actually the birth of it.
Born in your living room.
It was born in my living room, absolutely. So with that said, that's where it came from. And Beth and I were talking about branding, the importance for independent agents, not only not to have Delta, oops, here, this camera's backwards, I'm looking at it, not to have Delta Vacations, but FunJet or any of the other tour operators on top, but also not to have Travel Quest information. They want their customers calling them, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is this whole brand thing about that you've done a little bit of study on? Like, how important is it to actually brand something?
Branding is extremely important. It's your number one asset that you have. It's going to give you client retention. It's going to make sure that your clients are seeing you. There's a lot of psychological, aspects to it. If they continually see your name, your information, they're going to associate you with their travel, with their good trips, and they're going to come back to you. It also prevents them from shopping out from under you. So if they see FunJet or if they see Delta, everybody is now a travel agent on Google.
Or they think they are.
They think they are.
They think they are.
I think I'm Dr. Google, so I use that myself for doctor stuff, but people think that they can be a travel agent, and so they go on Google and they type it in and they try to cut out the middleman.
How hard can it be to book on delta.com,
right?
Or deltavacations.com? How hard can it be? So that is really what we have spent a lot of time talking about with Beth and talking about you guys about. And I knew always that was a struggle when I was an independent agent. It was a horrible struggle. I can't even tell you the things I used to do. So, well, they were hacked. It was definitely a hack job, but I knew that my face was really important. Once I always said that once a client gives you money, you become their mother in travel, and they're going to follow you like a little duck. They have trusted you. But if they can't easily find you, if all they can find is Delta Vacations,
yep.
And like Delta Vacations puts your booking code on, that's not going to help at all.
Right.
So anyways, so some of the documents you guys brand very easily and very readily are
Delta, FunJet, GoGo. We do a lot of the airlines, so American,
She means American Vacations.
Yes. Sorry, I don't know the lingo. And then we're adding some different cruises. We just added Carnival last week. Let's see, Suntrav.
Oh yeah, and I think you do Sun Country too.
Right.
So what do you guys do, for instance, if a document comes in and you don't recognize it? What happens there?
Well, there's kind of two things. If it's in a Word format or if it's in a PDF format, we'll put on a cover page so that you have something to work with, and it'll still put the important links on the back. And so it might not take the branding exactly off the document, but it will give you something. So
Something that sits on top.
It'll have a cover page. Actually, it looks like this.
And this was just me, actually. I'm going to pull it right up here, and I'll put snapshots. So this was me going into DocBrander and playing with how I could actually set this up. I'm a firm believer in your face. That, I mean, your logo is your brand, but your face is your personality. So I was always, and still am, a firm believer. That's why I haven't changed my face in many years. They'll be like, who is that woman? I know this body right here. So I don't change it. But you see, I did put my logo on there, and I did put my face on there, and then I did do these things. So I think the best part of DocBrander is you can play with it. But you know what I never really told anybody is how does, when you get an agent gets this in their email, how does this, from this, how does it go to this? Like, how does this actually happen, Beth?
So you'll set up your DocBrander account on DocBrander.com. You've set up what's called your branding profile, and so you'll put in your logo or your photo, and then you'll put in your text information, whatever you want it to be. That'll link up with your email, and so you'll get your documents in your email. You'll simply forward those to docs@DocBrander.com, and within seconds you'll get an email back with all of that information taken out and all of your information put in.
So when somebody first sets it up, like when I was saying on this one, I did have to play with this for a while. I didn't realize here on this one I had 50 characters, and so it took me a little while to get this.
Right.
So when they first set themselves up and they're trying to figure out how to put the logo in and how to do all of that, do they get some test opportunity so they're not using the quantity that they've contracted with per month?
Yeah, absolutely. So we give them a test document immediately. So it'll come to your email right when you sign up, and that it's labeled test document. You can send that as many times as you'd like. So
oh, I didn't even know that.
there you go.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that is fabulous.
So
that's
even
perfect.
if you use us a year down the road and you have a new logo or you have a new picture that you want to try out, go back to that test document, just save it, and you can send that anytime you want. It always works, and it will come back. It'll show you just generally what it's going to look like and you know how it looks on the paper. So
that really is I honestly didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that. I probably didn't read my first email, or I forgot about it. But the point there is, as talking at national meeting when I said you can change the brand, you can change what you have on the cover, because let's suppose this is a group, an anniversary group, and they're all taking a Delta vacations, and you want to brand up here that it's a group, so you
right.
can play with it. And actually how I made this happen, right here, is I just took my picture and I stuck it next to my logo. Okay, I really cheated. I did a snippet, which, okay, so it's not camera ready, but I got done what I needed to get done, so you can really play with that. Right. So if they have a destination wedding, you could brand it to the bride and the groom. You
Absolutely.
have a family going to Disney, they can brand it to the bride and the groom.
Right.
Another thing that you said were these guys. I think I printed it on the back. Nope, wrong one. It's on the back of one of these guys. This guy right here.
Yeah.
So this is the back cover sheet that comes in all the documents, and I'll put all these snippets up, but this is actually what do you call this?
Useful links. So they're all live links. Another issue that you had in your living room that day was that you were copying and pasting links that your clients may want to know or need to know, like travel warnings or TSA requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And you were always worried that you were going to get them wrong. And so we've taken that.
Or that they would change.
Yeah,
and the government did not send me a note.
Right. which they usually don't.
Or they do it and it's right next to the test document
Yes.
email she sent.
Right.
It could be right there. So all of the helpful links are here. Now, if someone, for instance, wanted to add something or they found something that may or may not be useful, would they be able to send that to you? Because this is CDC, it's Safety Abroad, it's Marriage Abroad, it's TSA.
Yeah, this is really general stuff that hopefully kind of encompasses most of the issues that you guys will come across. But if there's something that you guys want, we have been looking at potentially being able to add more and make that more customizable. So if you have terms and conditions that you want to create and add to your documents, we're going to be adding something to DocBrander where you can just upload a document to that.
Oh, great.
And then you could just include your own specific ones. So,
well, yeah, you know, because we here in the office when I sold, and I know a lot of people do the same thing, they maybe have like a cognito form and it says, I understand that, I have read how the name is spelled, and I agree that Bonnie did it right. I agree this is right. So if you guys who are listening think that that would be helpful, maybe just put a little note. I think that would be a good idea. So DocBrander would know if there is an actual interest in something like that.
Absolutely.
This then would be your Delta Vacations document when it gets done. And if this one really would have had this, you know, my logo with my picture and my travel quest, it would have actually populated up here. So we've got all the major tour operators that are going to go through. If they have a, what did you say, a PDF or a Word document?
Correct. Those will put the
that's when this goes
cover
on
page.
top.
And then if it doesn't recognize it, it's a weird format, we haven't seen it before, you'll get an email back that says we don't recognize this. All you need to do is then forward that to us at support@docbrander.com, and we do our best to add those. We try to add them within a week, and we've added a lot over the last year. It's impossible to have them all added. Obviously, each of you uses a different setup and different carriers.
Vendors. Yep, you've got everything different here.
Right. So we're still growing. We're still adding more.
Okay, so they send it to, who'd you say, support?
Support@docbrander.com.
And I'll put that in the portal so you actually have that really handy, so you'll be able to go find that email address and pull it out. Now, if anybody has any questions, just type them in over there and we can get that taken care of. Oh, maybe there are. We got to roll or scroll somewhere. Oh, we weren't quite. Oh, can you upload? There's one. Can you upload a photo? And see, they're wondering how I did that.
Yeah, you'll need to talk to Bonnie on her Photoshop skills. But yeah, I mean, anything.
I use Snippet. But the interesting thing is you could also go, like I would maybe have used people per hour if I were really doing it for me. Like if I were going to send this as a document, I would have made sure it was, quality looking, where I was just actually playing with it. But you could go to like people per hour, Fiverr. Is Fiverr, is that? So you could look for somebody and you could say, this is my logo, this is my picture, and I would like you to put them together. And you can have them put, if you want, your phone number straight away on there. So within that piece that gets uploaded, you can have as much information as you want.
Absolutely.
And then remember, you also get these lines of text. So if in your logo, you're going to choose to have your address if you want it, your name and those things, then you have those lines of text that you could actually use for something else.
Yep, you can customize it to the client.
That's, I think, and I think that's a little scary for people to say customize, because how is it going to look? But I would take that right back then to your test document.
Right.
I would play with it. I would run all these test documents, and then I would print them, because I am a printer. I gotta have. You could also save them in some type of a file on your computer, but I would print them, because visually then, in 6 months, when I have a client and I'm like, I really want to customize this to Mary and Tom, but I can't remember some of the scenarios I came up with, you can go right back to that, kind of see what was done. So I would really play with it, especially for people, if you're newer and you have time, I would definitely play with it.
Right.
And I see, so Stacy is asking, is Carnival loaded now? So yes.
Yep, we just added that this weekend. So send your documents, they should work. So on top of adding just separate vendors, each vendor typically has about 15 different types of documents. And so sometimes we'll have one document added and another one isn't, but usually they're really easy to add once we have one. So,
and you know what, something that I find is very interesting when Andy was working on this for me, it appears that when you're writing the code on the backside, he's always looking for one common thing that appears in every document, and then he tells his program, okay, when you hit this thing, which he knows is common, then I want you to do this. And I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 times a year, whoever the vendor is, they might change that common sentence.
Yeah.
So it has a comma in a different spot, and now it's not that the system isn't going to recognize it. So it will error out, and then on your end, you get a notice that says, it has aired out. So you guys actually see that.
Right. Yeah, we have to update them, probably yearly.
Yeah.
Because they just change little things and then our system doesn't pick it up. But yeah, we're always checking it and making sure that things are up to date. And if you have the problem, there's likely somebody else that's having the problem and we'll get on it.
Yes, exactly. So now, what is the cost? Because I'll be honest, I really don't know what the cost is. So we're going to go into the cost. How much is it per month then?
So we have we have 3 plans. There's the Pro plan, and that gives you 50 documents a month.
Okay, so when we here, I just have to correct one thing. So when you say documents,
correct,
she's really saying test itineraries. You know, when you're in Delta Vacations, when you're in FunJet, when you're in Apple, when you're in any of those guys, you can send a quote to your client. How do you like this? Does this look really good? So when she's saying document, she's saying any one of these things, because all of them will go through and brand. She's not talking that the system only does actual documents. It does quotes and itineraries, all those things you might
invoices,
have.
yeah.
Invoices, everything.
Yeah, it does a lot of different types of documents. So yes, I'm using a very broad word when I say documents, but yeah. So any document you would send to docs@docbrander.com, except that test document, would be considered a document. And it's not by page, it's by total document. So so that's 50 documents a month. It gives
how
you
much was that again?
$10 a month.
Oh, okay, great.
And then there's a $5 a month plan, and that gives you 25 documents. And that gives you also your logo and your text. And then we have a free plan for those just starting out. Maybe you don't have a logo yet. Maybe you're just not sure you want to use it. And that just gives you the text. So it doesn't give you the logo like this.
Oh, so here,
it would just be the text.
It's just you're gonna take this off. Where's my hand going? It's gonna take that off, and then it'll still say,
correct,
Bonnie Lee, blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. And this is a free plan.
It's a free plan. It gives you 5 of those documents a month. So it's really good for people just starting out.
And remember, you can use the test thing and go back and forth as many times as you want. I was just thinking of something else. Now I feel like I did. I lost my train of thought.
Well, can I jump in there?
Yes, you can. Sorry, I'm talking.
One other thing that DocBrander allows you to do is we don't require any service contracts. And so we know that travel has kind of boom and bust times. And so when you're really busy, you can certainly bump up to that Pro plan. When you're not selling as much, you can bump down to the free plan.
Oh, okay. We're
not going to charge you for anything you're not using.
So in January, when I got a lot going on and I know that I'm going to be doing more than those 10 documents,
right,
I can go to the Pro plan for 1 month, and that's how much is the Pro plan again?
$10 a month.
$10. Oh my gosh, so what's 10 bucks? I mean, think about that. If it saves you 10 minutes, it's worth 10 bucks as far as I'm concerned. Are there any other questions in there? I'm just such a firm believer in this.
How long does it take to get a document back?
How long does it take, Beth?
You should have set up a test. It's about 3 to 5 seconds. It depends on your internet. I always joke with Andy because at home we live out in the middle of nowhere and we get horrible internet service. And so I'll send a document to DocBrander and I complain about the servers and how slow they are. And he's like, that's our internet. It's nothing to do with the servers. So yeah, it's as fast as your internet. That's what I like to tell people because I've learned that.
And it is really too. I always say it takes 3.5 seconds and it's back in your email. So it's not like you're going to say, well, I really want to get all my documents done today. Okay, oh, let's see, I'm going to send them to DocBrander, and then tomorrow about 5, I should get them back. No, by the time you send your first one and get ready to send your second one, your first one is back. So you can take your Friday to be your document day. So I hope that answers your question. It does come back right away. And it really and truly, I mean, DocBrander was born in my living room because I was struggling, but I was struggling because our agents were saying to me, Bonnie, I love everything about you, but every document I get has your name on it. And again, they would say, I love you, but it's got the document, the name on it. That's where this came from. It came from me wanting to get my name off of there because I want your customers talking to you. I want them coming back to you. So it really is just, it's as simple as that. So you've got a special from the Travel Quest World.
Correct. It'll be coming out tomorrow. The email, it's a promo code for 1 free month of the Pro Plan. So you'll get 50 documents. You can try it out, test it out, see how much you use it, see whether it works for you, and hopefully you'll sign up and we can, continue to add more documents. The more people we get, the more documents we get, and we're trying to grow with you. So
exactly. So those of you who were at Travel Quest World, you will get an email from Beth.
Correct.
Those of you who were not at Travel Quest World, don't worry. You sent me over the browser link or whatever it is, and I'll attach this to the post, so it'll be in Facebook and it'll be over there tomorrow, so you can click on it and you can take advantage. Because remember, we told you guys, just because you didn't make it to Travel Quest World, we were just going to be, you're dead to me if you don't get anything. No, you're not. You're special just like everybody else. So we'll make sure you put it, so if you do want to take advantage, you can. And if anybody has any questions, you can go into the Rolodex and it's got you guys' email address. So if they do need something, or you can check with support here as well. Support knows about it. But I think, is that the end of the questions, or is there another scroll down area there? Or we go up? We don't know. Do we go up?
There we go.
Stacy Filler, I've used it since last conference and I heard it.
Oh, good.
So really, if anybody does have, if you have a challenge, obviously they do want to know the challenge. It's like anything. If you don't know what you don't know. But if there's something that you love, oh, hey, there's a question. How about Holland America documents?
I'm not sure. If you send us over, you can just email it to me. I can put my email up here afterwards. You can just email me the document. I can test it out and see. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't know all the list of them, but
I understand. Oh, and Sherry, she wants to know if you can share this with other agents. Absolutely, you can share it with other agents. It's really just kind of, they each have real jobs, 2 children, 2 cats, and 2 dogs. So they got a lot of stuff going on in their house. They got a lot of stuff going on. But if you want to share it out, do feel free to share it out. They're just not out working trade shows or anything. They're just kind of.
Right. We do what we can.
Yeah, exactly. Now, is there anything else up there? Did we miss anything? So we got the Holland America. If we missed you a question, pop it in there real quick, but I do think we actually got everybody. I'll make sure the support email is over in our Rolodex.
Okay.
So if anybody has any questions, you can find Beth. We'll have the link tomorrow.
Yep.
If you want to ask anybody that uses it, you can post that question up. I'm sure some of the people that use DocBrander have probably come up with even more unique things than I might have come up with when I was selling. But thanks, everybody. We got the sound, we got the picture, we got everything. It was a successful night.
Yes.
Now let's see. I got to reach over here, take the mouse, and end the live video. Bye, guys. Have a good night.